Thursday of the third week, and today we had the strongest workout with our teacher Abby. Oh my god, it was really exhausting with a lot of warriors and poses, and wow, but it was so good. We were sweating so much because it's like 36 degrees Celsius in that yoga hall now, and well, I'm really exhausted, but it was really nice. Bhakti yoga is what we talked about today in philosophy. It's the path of love and devotion. So, you know, there are different paths to come to this ultimate state that the yogis want to go to, or that they want to reach, although I can't really say reach because they say that you already have it. Ashtanga and Raja yoga, in those paths you basically use effort to get there, and for example, you meditate a lot, you use meditation practice to get to that state, whereas in Bhakti yoga you just love, and that is all you do, and you just live and enjoy life, and but you love everything around you, and you love other human beings, and you love yourself, and you just feel the love all the time, and yeah. So that's the path of Bhakti yoga. Some important points, like, you know, like how we often live love like a business. We say, as long as you're nice to me, I will be nice to you, and we will say together, or as long as you love me, or as long as you want to live with me. But as soon as the other person doesn't want to anymore, we're like, oh, now I hate you. But the question is if that is really love then, and that love shouldn't have any conditions. So even if the other person doesn't love me back, or if he's maybe separating from me or whatever, you can still love the person. And love means setting the other one free, in this opinion. So first quality of love is freedom, he said. And he told a story, I don't know where it's from again, of someone who put a bird in a golden cage, and he gave him everything he needed, like I love you, and gave him all the things, food, etc. But one day he died, and he asked, like, why did the bird die? And well, because he didn't give him freedom, was kind of the conclusion. Yeah, because as long as you have him in a cage, it's not really love, they say. And so how we always want to possess our partners, and we get so jealous when they have fun with someone else, maybe, or some people do. Yeah, that's a little difficult. And then also about love, that we often say, yeah, I love him because he looks so great, and he's so nice, and he's such a great guy. And of course it is nice to see all these beautiful sides of another person, but that love itself doesn't need conditions. Like, you don't have to have any reason why you love this particular person. You just love, and there is no condition, there is no reason in that sense. And intelligence cannot explain why this person and why. And also interesting when you relate it to yourself. Like, we often need to find reasons why we love ourselves. Like, yeah, okay, I like this or that about me, so I can try to love me now. But actually, also for that, you don't really need a reason. You can just love. Just love yourself. That's it. Yeah. And Bhakti yogis, so the ones that live in this principle of love, they dance and sing all the time. You know, they're so happy about life. So really different to this other style of yogis who are sitting and meditating, even though they have the same goal, you could say. And for love, we need to be brave somehow, because love is kind of scary for certain parts of us, for the ego, as the spiritual people say, because in love you kind of lose your ego. You want to just selflessly give yourself to the other one, and that is very scary somehow. But you can do it, and you should do it, because from this perspective, love is the big thing that that makes life worth living, and which is such a great thing. Yeah, and you need trust. And then at some point in this Bhakti Yogi stage, you kind of feel like the whole universe is your family, and you feel love for everyone, and also everything, like the things around you. And again, it's this idea that you become one with it, like you somehow feel that everything around you is you, in a way, like not me as Vera, but you get a kind of a bigger idea of yourself. You don't no longer just think I'm Vera, you feel that you are consciousness, which is everywhere according to these yogic ideas. And so you are everything, in a way. And when you really feel that, you might just feel so much love for everything. Yeah, and then why do you need to have fear? Because you know that the whole universe is kind of your family. I like these ideas. I'm sure not everyone agrees with them, but I think they're nice. Unity and diversity. Interesting also, when you love someone, you said you cannot really lose love. When you're in love, you're in it, and you're in it forever, in a way. Like love is, according to these yogic ideas anyway, it's eternal. It's like anywhere, even time is not really as we perceive it according to the yogic ideas. When you're really in the moment, like time will be very different. Everything will be is eternal, or something like this moment is eternal. Okay, so Bhakti Yoga lives life to the fullest, loves so much, and he or she gives freedom through love, so it's not so attached to the things or people he or she loves. So you're like a guest, so you can love everything and everyone, but don't get attached to them. It's sometimes a kind of a weird idea, because I think it's quite normal that we do get attached to the people we love, and forcing yourself to not be attached can be a bit not so natural, I think, can cause problems probably. But the idea is nice, and maybe it's possible. Then in anatomy, what did we talk about? How Roshan, the teacher, he thinks that every event has some meaning, and even if you first think it's a bad event, later on it might turn out that it was actually a good event. And he gave some examples for that. And it's just a nice mindset to have, right? Of course, sometimes we have really bad events where we really don't know what's the purpose, but even in them we can often find like some grain of something that we could learn from that, or how it helped us to evolve, even though it was really terrible. And yeah. We talked then about ankles and joints, and that was really interesting for me. For example, the directions you can move all the joints. Of course, I knew kind of a bit about it, but not so systematically like we did it today. And I find it always amazing if I think about how long I've been living in this body and how little I still know about it, you know, like how my feet can move, the directions. I had to be reminded of that. You can move like this and like this with your ankle joint, with one of them, and with the other ankle joint you can move like this and like this. And you cannot, for example, rotate somehow. Like only you can do like a combination of them. And I wasn't aware of that anymore. Like I might have known it at some level, but yeah, it's just so interesting, I think. And then you can kind of find out what are the things that are missing in your body. Maybe you're a little bit too far like this, or usually more like this with your feet. And then you do postures that will strengthen the other side. And in these ways you can kind of correct your posture very nicely. And you can also find out, if I want to stand more straight, what are the things I need to work on, and then you can put your yoga program together like this. And I think that's really something I realized today about the purpose of the asanas, that one big purpose of them is really simply to correct your posture. And I realized more and more how important posture is. Someone of the other students taught me today these things, like even just to get more space in between here, the ribs and the hips, by pulling this upwards in some postures, and opening here, and then with your hips, that the hips are open. When you do all of this, and when it gets better after a while of yoga, your body really feels so differently, and the posture has effects on so many things. Sorry, there are people outside. Your breathing gets much better. You feel how you have much more space for breathing, and that allows this diaphragmatic, with the diaphragm, I don't know the adjective now, for breathing. And this also relaxes you, and apparently the frontal cortex, which is important for self-control, higher cognitive functions in the brain, it activates more when you are relaxed. So it's very important. And also your digestion functions better, your circulation, like so many things. And not only that, of course, you also look totally different. If I sit like this, that's how I look like, and then I can look like this, and I feel totally different. This is like such an important thing. And I can see how they say that if you have really corrected your posture, and it's really natural at some point, and you do breathing exercises, your breathing gets well, etc., how you will naturally go to a state of meditation and happiness, just because you feel so great in your body, and body and mind are so interconnected. In some way, maybe one almost the same. That's going a bit far from my Western perspective, but very, very interconnected, almost not to be separated. Yeah. So I really understand more and more why we're doing these yoga asanas and these breathing exercises. It's like such a holistic and wonderful concept, how the biology and psychology, they play together. Now I talked a lot. So I'd rather stop now.